We met in the kind of way that makes you think fate was lazy. No lightning bolt. No grand entrance. Just two people ordering the same sandwich at the same deli, 5 seconds apart. I cracked a joke about copycatting. She laughed, and I swear I heard a little destiny wheeze in the background. Her name was Allison. Noi, no da volele. She made a point of saying that like it mattered. She had that kind of voice people stop texting to listen to. A voice you'd trust with bad news. Or at least I did. We moved slowly. At her pace. She had just gotten out of something messy, and I respected that. Every few weeks I'd suggest something a little more serious, a weekend away, a drawer at my place, and she'd give me that look like I was offering her a parachute with holes. So I waited. 6 months in, I started calling her my girlfriend. She didn't correct me. That felt like progress. 10 months in, she gave me a key. I didn't use it much. Mostly when she needed a package signed, or the maintenance guy to fix her leaky shower head. Still, it felt like a symbol. We never said I love you. She once told me those words had been ruined for her. I didn't push. I told myself I was patient. Understanding. Safe. That's what she said I was, safe. She used to say it like a compliment. The kind of thing that comes after smart and before stable. I wore it like a badge until I realized I was being cast as a mattress, not a man. But I didn't know that yet. Not back then. Back then, she was still leaning on me after long days. She was still texting me goodnight from the other room. We were still us. She had routines. Rigid ones. Fridays were off limits, girls' night. Sundays she visited her aunt. Wednesdays were for recharging. I didn't question it. Everyone needs time. Everyone needs space. And I wasn't the clingy type. I had work. I had my own life. I had no reason to suspect I was just a placeholder with a warm smile and a functional car. Until the wallet. It always starts with something stupid, right? It slipped out somewhere between the gas station and the parking garage. I didn't notice until I got home and patted my jacket like an idiot for 5 minutes straight. I checked the car, the floors, the deli, called the credit card company. Nothing had been charged. I was already drafting the mental checklist of who to call and what to cancel when my phone buzzed. It was a text from a number I didn't recognize. Hey, I think I found your wallet. It was near my building. Come by later if you want to grab it. No worries if not. Attached was a photo. My wallet on a table. The background looked vaguely familiar. That sterile, exposed brick design aesthetic that every expensive apartment complex in the city seems to copy from a Pinterest board. I asked for the address. He sent it. When I saw the street name, I paused. I'd been there. Not recently, but enough to feel my stomach turn. That's where Allison's friend lived. The one she never named. The one she visited on Fridays, always solo, always with a line about needing to vent. I didn't make assumptions. Not yet. I told myself cities overlap. That coincidence isn't evidence. Still, I didn't tell her I got a text. I just said I needed to run an errand and would be back before dinner. She smiled. Said no rush, in that voice that felt like it came with a receipt. The building was as nice as I remembered. Nicer, actually. Clean lobby, plants no one watered but never died. The guy who found the wallet looked about my age, maybe older. Friendly enough. Opened the door, handed me the thing, nodded. I was about to leave when I noticed a small gift bag on the kitchen counter. Nothing crazy. Just a square box wrapped in tissue and ribbon, sitting too perfectly to ignore. People wrap things for birthdays. For anniversaries. For proposals. The bag had a little card on it. No envelope. I couldn't read it, but it had her handwriting. Not mine. Hers. And then I saw something that made my mouth dry. A ring box. Open. Inside was a simple, elegant engagement ring. Nothing flashy. Just tastefully expensive. The kind of thing someone chooses when they already know the answer. I asked before I could stop myself. Hey, is that for someone special? He smiled, shrugged. Yeah, my fiancée. She just left. Maybe you saw her? I asked for her name. He told me. Allison. He said it casually, like it was obvious. Like I should have known. Like he didn't just toss a grenade into my chest. I should have walked out. Said thank you. Nodded. Swallowed the nausea and let the lie rot inside me like it was supposed to. But I didn't. Because the card was still there, propped up like it wanted to be read. And because part of me still hoped there was some explanation, however insane. Some way this wasn't what it looked like. I asked to use the bathroom. He pointed down the hall. I walked slowly, like my legs were trying to rebel against my curiosity. I didn't go in. I turned. I walked back to the kitchen. I looked at the card. I didn't touch it. Just read what I could from where I stood. It wasn't addressed to him. It wasn't addressed to me either. It was just a sentence in her handwriting. Can't wait to make this official. You've always been the real thing. No name. No date. Just a sentiment. A sentence you don't write twice. A sentence you don't give to two people. I asked him how long they'd been together. He said 2 years. Met through work. Dated casually, then more seriously. Got engaged last month. He said it like he was proud. Like his voice had muscle memory from practicing how he'd tell the story. I nodded. I didn't ask anything else. I said thanks again and left. Stepped into the elevator with my stomach flipped inside out. The lobby music felt like a funeral. The doorman gave me a thumbs up. I barely saw the sidewalk. Back at my car, I sat in silence. Not anger. Not sadness. Just math. She'd been with him for 2 years. We'd been together for 14 months. That's 10 months of overlap. 10 months of lies packaged as patience. 10 months of gentle smiles and soft refusals while she planned a wedding with someone else. And I had called it moving slow. What a joke. I always thought betrayal would feel loud, like a car crash or a scream. But it didn't. It felt like numbers. Like watching 2 columns that don't match up. I started my engine. Drove 3 blocks. Pulled over. Then I opened our shared photo album on my phone and started deleting pictures one by one. Not to forget, just to make room for reality. The strange thing about secrets is how boring they are once you find them. They're not wrapped in mystery. They're just sitting there, in plain view, wearing sunglasses and hoping you'll keep walking. That night, I didn't confront her. Didn't call. Didn't text. I let her message me first. She did, of course. Miss you already. Followed by a heart emoji. Routine. Mechanical. Like a reflex. I stared at the screen for a while. Then I opened Instagram. Not hers, her friend's. The one she was always visiting on Fridays. The one I was never invited to meet. The account was private, but the bio listed a photography business. The link led to a Facebook page. From there, I found tagged posts. Bridal showers. Rehearsal dinners. She wasn't in most of them. But in the background of one, blurry and small, was Allison. Wearing white. Next to him. Her friend was real, but the story wasn't. She'd used this woman's apartment as an alibi more than once. I found 3 geotags on old photos from Allison's page that matched that same neighborhood. The captions? Needed a reset. Solo time. Girls' weekend. Every excuse she'd given had coordinates. And all of them pointed away from me. I searched their names together. Found a wedding registry. Simple. Clean. White background. No photos of them, just dates and item lists. But the header made me pause. Allison and Matthew's wedding, June 8th. June 8th. 2 weeks from now. I stared at that number like it was a punchline. We'd planned a cabin trip for that weekend. She told me it was her aunt's birthday. Asked if we could reschedule. I told her family comes first. Turns out it does. Just not mine. I closed the tab. Open notes. Wrote 1 sentence. She was always preparing for forever. Just never with me. I stopped sleeping much after that. Not from heartbreak. From calculations. Because that's what it felt like now, a spreadsheet. Every memory with her lined up in rows, side by side with someone else's. 2 columns. 1 future. And I wasn't in hers. The sickest part? I wasn't even plan B. I was the just in case. The fallback cushion. The soft place to land if her real story got too complicated. She used to thank me for not pressuring her. Said I was respectful. Thoughtful. Gentle. She meant easy. I was easy. Easy to cancel on. Easy to rearrange. Easy to lie to, not because I was stupid, but because I trusted her. And trust, it turns out, is the easiest thing to stab. She let me talk about moving in. She let me plan weekends. She let me show up at her apartment with food when she claimed she was sick. All while wearing someone else's ring. The box I saw wasn't just a ring, it was a tombstone. For my version of her. For the girl who said she needed more time. More space. More trust. Turns out she had all the time in the world. Just not for me. I started rereading our old texts. Painful, sure. But illuminating. She never said, I love you. Never called me babe or honey or anything remotely intimate. Always stayed just on the edge of warm. Affectionate but not invested. like a customer service representative in a relationship. I was stability. He was excitement. And she was the switch operator, flipping between lives with practiced fingers, never missing a beat. Some people cheat because they're afraid of being alone. She cheated because she wasn't afraid of anything, especially not getting caught. Because I made it so easy. I didn't confront her. Not with shouting. Not with questions. Not even with tears. I bought a small white box, similar to the one I saw on his counter. Identical, in fact. Inside, I placed a chain, thin, silver, simple. One I had bought her months ago. She wore it once. Said it was too serious. Now it felt like a joke that aged poorly. I wrote a note. Not a letter. Just a sentence. You left something behind. I think you'll know which life it belongs to. I dropped it off at her door while she was at work. No knock. No text. No drama. Just absence. I cleared her number. Deleted the photos. Removed our shared calendar. Even blocked the Spotify playlist we used to share. Not because I hated the songs, but because they were written in her voice now. She didn't message me. Not that day. Not the next. I figured she was busy shopping registries or tasting cake samples. Planning vows for a future she'd already rehearsed. And me? I wasn't heartbroken. I was hollow. Not shattered. Just swept clean. People always say closure is something you have to find. That's not true. Sometimes closure shows up wrapped in tissue paper, sitting on someone else's kitchen counter, with a note that was never meant for you. And when it does, you don't scream. You don't beg. You don't burn the pictures. You return what isn't yours. And you leave. Quiet. Final. Free.